If you're thinking about selling your home in San Antonio this year, I want to help you avoid one of the most expensive mistakes I see sellers make. Many homeowners assume that if their home doesn't sell quickly, the answer is a big price reduction. Sometimes that's true, but many times there are other strategies that can attract buyers while helping you protect more of your equity. The challenge is that today's buyers aren't shopping the way they were just a few years ago. They're comparing monthly payments, they're comparing incentives, and they're comparing your home against builders that are offering interest rate buydowns, closing cost assistance, and other perks. If you don't have a plan before your home hits the market, you may find yourself reacting instead of negotiating. So, before you decide how to price your home or which incentives to offer, I want to show you a simple comparison using a theoretical $300,000 home right here in San Antonio. We'll compare doing nothing, dropping the price, and offering temporary interest rate buy down. You may be surprised which strategy protects the most equity while still getting buyers' attention. Let's take a look.
All right, folks, today we are going to look at a side-by-side comparison of a theoretical home in San Antonio that is listed at $300,000, and the seller, just to put you in the mindset there, they want to get the home sold as quickly as possible. They don't want to lose a lot of money either. So their sales price $300,000. They're trying to make that decision. And buy downs. This is something that lenders use. This is something that builders definitely use and are using successfully right now. So as a resale homeowner, that's definitely a strategy you want to explore and put pencil to paper to. So we're going to do that here real quick. And so this column here, we have no incentives. We're not doing anything. They're not buying anything, right? We are simply putting the house on the market, and we're going to let the buyers discover everything for themselves, which I do not recommend. You've got to lead the buyers. Otherwise, they're going to either make no decision or make a wrong decision. That's not going to help you. And you don't want the people out there making no decisions. They're just going to go on to something else that has already been laid out for them. So no incentives. Price is $300,000. Okay, maybe they saw your home and that's the only home they've seen. Otherwise, they may have seen a builder out there offering some incentives, and they notice that you're not offering any incentives. They decide, you know what, maybe I don't want to ask them. Maybe they're going to say no. They don't want to be rejected. No one likes rejection, and we don't want that to happen. If you have to reject them, that's fine, but we want to at least give ourselves a chance to reject them. And by offering incentives, we at least open that conversation for what acceptable offer is going to look like. So with no incentives, the estimated payment, okay, on this home is going to be about 2270 a month, and that's assuming about 20% down at today's interest rate, 6.82% on a conventional loan. Right, pretty typical. The cost to the seller again is zero. Zero cost seller. Okay, that's what we enjoyed during the COVID pandemic, right? Everything was just the way the seller wanted. No concessions, no inspections, all that good stuff. Those days are over. Now we have to really think about what is going on in the buyer's head in order to be successful at getting the home sold, right? Because there's a lot of competition out there, and if we're not answering that competition, then we're going to get left behind. So here we have a $15,000 price cut. Pretty obvious what it's going to cost you, right? Costing you $15,000. We see these price cuts all the time. I'm seeing $15,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 price cuts. Just depends on the deal, right? We don't want to do that if we can't help it. But lo and behold, it's happening, and we're not even giving ourselves a chance at a higher price. So this one here is going to result in a nice price reduction for the buyer, right? a nice low payment for the buyer. The cost to the seller is what we want to avoid if we can. $15,000 in expenses allocated towards price reduction, right? And sometimes you got to have a little bit of both, right? We're keeping this one simple, but you're going to see here in a second how powerful the interest rate buy down is. So here we have no price change. Okay, we still have our $300,000 price, yet we're looking at our payments. Okay, this is year one payment at an estimated $1,900, $1,980 a month. Okay, and this is on a 2-1 buy down. Going to year two. And the payment is actually going to be $2,120. Again, these are estimated payments. I'm not a loan officer, but I connect with loan officers to get some of these scenarios. Year three, we're looking at our original payment, and that's actually year 3 through 30. All right, so this is a fixed payment. All right, so it does you a it does everybody a favor here doing it this way. Okay, year 3 through 30 is fixed; it doesn't change anymore. And this is working like crazy for builders, right? So it's definitely helped sellers out. Seller cost estimated $7,000. All right. So which one would you prefer as a seller? Would you prefer zero cost? Of course, you would prefer zero cost. However, that's a shrinking number of transactions that are happening out there right now. And if you wait to try something to attract buyers, you may have to cut your price even more than that 15K to get the same results. However, if you come out fresh on the market with a well thought out marketing plan that offers buyers a compelling reason to come to the home, you may not even have to put in these concessions if you get multiple offers. If you really have think if the house has the house priced correctly, and we're offering incentives, and we're leading more buyers to decide to come look at the property, then you may not even reach this. But put your best marketing forward from the beginning and use this tactic, because look at that. Seller estimated cost $7,000, and you keep your price of $300,000. Okay, so that's a difference of about $8,000. That $8,000 can go a long way towards all kinds of other things. Maybe you got some repairs in there that need to happen. Maybe there's some closing costs that you decide to help the buyer out with in lieu of repairs. The sky's the limit, or you pocket the whole $8,000. So keep that in mind. I hope this helps.
Okay, so the biggest takeaway is this: don't assume a price reduction should be your first move. The right strategy depends on your home, your competition, your timeline, and what buyers are responding to when your home hits the market. Sometimes a price adjustment is exactly what's needed. Other times, a temporary interest rate buy down can create a much bigger impact on a buyer's monthly payment, while costing you significantly less than a large price reduction. The goal isn't just to sell your home, it's to sell with a plan that protects as much of your equity as possible. If you're thinking about selling your home in the next few months, I'd be happy to sit down with you and compare all of your options before your home ever goes on the market. That way, you can make an informed decision instead of expensive guesses. I'm Krishna Perkins with eXp Realty. If you'd like a personalized seller strategy session, comment equity, send me a message, or give me a call. See you on the next video.